What's up, y'all? Today I got a service call on a package unit that is offline. I had these doors open, so when I get here, I don't see any power. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check for high voltage. So I don't have any high voltage coming into the unit. So what we'll do is we will take this cover off and make sure that the power is not being stopped from this disconnect. And then if we still do not have power here, that will give me suspicion that the breaker is tripped. So if there's power, if there's no power here, what I do is I'm going to check the windings on the compressors and also the blower motor before I restore power. So I have no power going into my disconnect switch. So now I'm going to check the windings on my compressors, my blower motor, and also inspect the outdoor fan motors. So I check the windings on the compressor, the blower motor. The wiring was already like this on this blower motor. I hope I just strap it up with a zip tie or something. But before you just go and turn the power on, you need to inspect the wiring. Make sure we don't have anything rubbing to ground, because that could also cause a breaker to trip. In here, I see that we just got some wires hanging, so I will strap those up the best I can. And also, when I go downstairs to check the breaker, I'm gonna turn this off first. My hands are cold. It's cold out here. We're not used to this weather. And it's rainy out here today. So, turn that off. Now, I'm gonna strap up these wires, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and look for this breaker. See, it's not that hard to secure wires. We just don't want it to be touching metal where it could potentially rub out and cause a ground. So I just got a simple zip tie. Just zip tied it, just keeping it away from the metal. What I do is I do like this, and then I tighten it up. Once I can use two of my hands, do it like that. All right, so I have the power restored. See, the lights are on. What I did was I disconnected the energy management CPC board so that it will not come on in a heat or cooling mode. What I want to do is, before I allow it to run on its own, I want to check each motor and also go through the electrical connections again, one by one. So first thing we do, we need to make sure we got the proper voltage. This is a 460 volt unit. L1 is 495, 500, and 501 between the two. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test my motors again. We see that the compressor RLA is 7.4. So let's go ahead and get an amp check on these compressors. Okay, so I did an amp check on the compressors. The amps look fine in range, and then also I did verify there is a charge on both the circuits. So now I'm gonna test the blower motor. This blower motor may not be OEM, so instead of me looking at the tag of the unit, I'm gonna come right here and we're gonna see what is the amp draw. So for 460, we're supposed to have 4.6 amps. So let's make sure our blower motor is in range. And then also we wanna rotate it. Make sure we're not seized up. Make sure the bearings on the squirrel cage are not shot. Okay, so when I went to test my blower motor, I know that the amps are higher when the door is open. So what I did was I had the door closed, almost closed. The door was like this. And so what I did was, when I was checking the amps, I was pressing in the contactor. And then all of a sudden, I heard and I saw a big spark come out of the front of this blower motor. Not from the wires. I did check the wires again, but it came through the front. And it seems like this motor was installed in 2007. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and replace this blower motor, because the blower motor is tripping the breaker. So when I replace blower motors, I also do replace the pulley sheave as well. It's just better to do. It's easier and it's better to do that way, because a lot of times these sheaves, they become warped, and when they're warped, they chew on the belt, and it seems like it's a older sheave anyway. So let's just go ahead and get a new motor, new sheave, and we're gonna get a new belt. So when you're looking for parts, make sure you get data tags. And that is how you diagnose a package unit.